going to be sharing my project topic with you guys at the end of this video. You don't want to wait till your third semester and you're just like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know if I should say it here, but we had 99 over 100. Yes. My name is Josephine. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be sharing my experience on how I went about selecting my project topic. You guys know that I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in computer science, and we have concluded the first and second semester, and I'm currently starting my third semester, which is going to be my project semester as well. I'm excited about that because I just feel like, when did I get started? And now it's coming to an end gradually. But anyways, yeah. So I recently just decided on my project topic, and it was quite a journey, I'm not going to lie. And this is not the first project I'm going to be writing. In fact, when I did my undergrad, we wrote a project or a paper every semester except our last semester. That's how much paper I had to pump out. And in some semesters, we had two for two different courses. So I've had some experience writing papers, but definitely not in computer science, right? So I had to go through a phase of finding what it is that I really want to do. And I've also come to recognize that, okay, you know what, I might not be the only one going through that. Not everyone is a fan of writing a project. In fact, I feel like when people think about project, they're just like, oh my god, what do I do? How do I go about it? So it's not something that comes easily or naturally to people. And for me as well, I had to go through literally it took me thinking right from when I started my first semester till about 2 weeks ago to figure out what it is that I really wanted my project to be about. So I know that it is not always straightforward for everyone, and I hope by sharing my experience it's going to be of help to someone out there who is trying to decide on what it is that they want to do. So first of all, confusion. You're going to be confused initially, because there's so many things you can write about, there's so many things you can do. For me, when I think of a project, I think about carrying out an experiment. You're trying to answer a question, you're trying to probe something. So it makes sense that you think about what it is you want to do. Is there any question that is hanging in your head that you want to answer? But obviously it cannot just be any question, it has to be something related to your field. So I remember when we did our orientation, before we started the first semester, we had a session about our courses and what the entire course is going to look like. And that was when we were told that we were going to be writing a project in our final semester, which is really not something new. It happens, everyone writes a project in their last semester. It was at that point we were told to start thinking about what it is that we want to do, especially with the fact that the project module is the biggest module in terms of credit points, which is a 60 credit module. So it's something that is going to really affect what you're going to graduate with. To be honest, I started to think about it, and it was a whole lot of confusion. I'm not going to lie. I went from point A to point B back to point A. I was really confused. Sometimes just oh my god, I want to have my project topic down, because I like to do my things early. I like to start things early, finish early. If you watch my previous video, our group assignment, which by the way, the score is out. Guys, I don't know if I should say it here, but we had 99 over 100. Yes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch this video up here. I'm referring to our software development group exercise. As I saw this score, I was just like, oh my god, I'm so happy. I feel like the score reflects just how much we put into it. I always used to think if people heard us in our meetings, they'll probably think we're working for one software company, because we were really serious. We really did everything professionally. And we finished first semester, moved into second semester. I was just starting to feel worried, because it's just I need to know what I'm going to do, because my project is a really big thing. I had that confusion up until we were writing or about to write our second semester exams, and that was when I came up with a strategy. And I was just like, okay, Josephine, this project can go in any direction you want it to go, but I think we should narrow it down to 3 things. So number one is that we do the project in something we love, which is something I'm really interested in. I just felt like if I do that, I will be so energized and so interested in doing the project. Or I do it in something I'm experienced in, which is my previous background, which is banking. Or I do it in my new industry of interest, which is tech. And so the moment I came up with that, everything just moved really fast for me. So if you're at that point where you're like wondering what to do, how to go about your project, and you've had a list of ideas, I would like for you to think about it in that sense. If you already have topics, you want to arrange them under these buckets, and from there you narrow it down so that each of them has just one project left. So I have one topic for what I love, I have one topic based on my previous experience, and I have one topic for my future goals. And so once I had those 3 topics, it was really easy for me to decide on what it is that I want to do for my project. After a lot of thought, I decided I was going to do my project in what I love, because especially for me, I've written a lot of projects. Like I said, I wrote at least one. There were semesters I wrote 2 projects in a semester during my bachelor's degree. I've also just concluded my MBA. I also wrote a project, and they were all based on what I felt was expected of me. And so this time around, I was like, okay, I'm going to go with what I'm interested in. That's because, like I said, I've written a lot of projects. It wasn't a quick decision, to be honest, but something I actually thought of for a while, and something that will make sense in a couple of months. When you guys see another video that is going to come up, you guys are going to understand what I'm saying. But I'm going to be sharing my project topic with you guys at the end of this video, by the way, so stay calm. And to be honest, this video is just to tell you, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing for my project, because it's really important. Even just talking about it, I'm getting excited. You guys are going to see so much to come in the future. But yeah, that was how I went about deciding on what to do for my MSc project. And I just wanted to help someone out there. If you're thinking of what to do, you can follow the same steps that I just outlined to you guys about what I did. Also, here's some advice to help you select your topic. So first of all, you want to start early. It's really important that you start early. Like I just mentioned earlier, I started thinking about my project in my first semester. You don't want to wait till your third semester and you're just like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There's not going to be enough time for you to think about a lot of things, because I think that process of thinking and considering a lot of things makes it clearer and creates a sort of bond with the topic you end up choosing. So if you don't go through that, I don't know, I just feel like the topic is going to feel distant, because I haven't thought about a lot of things and selecting a topic. I feel like, oh, finally I found my baby. Like, I can relate to you so much. Like, I know why I chose you out of the others. But if you don't start early, you just end up struggle. You're in a hurry to find a topic, and you end up choosing something that might not necessarily be the best thing you're going to want to go for, or might not necessarily feel natural for you or close to you like that. So we're going to have a project defense. Those details tends to show when it comes to your final presentation. This one is really important. I think people, when they think of their project topics, they think, oh, I need to do something grand. I need to do something that is like complex, something that sounds so... Like I said earlier on, project is like an experiment. You're just trying to test something, whether it is true or not. So you don't have to make it complex. For me, I like easy work. I don't like hard work. I don't like... If there's an easy path, I'm going to choose it. You don't expect me to be going for the hard one. So your project doesn't have to be complex. Trust me, it can be as simple as, what is the relationship between X and Y? How is X related to Y? And what change in X will bring about an expected change in Y? Like, your project can be so easy. But let it not be too easy, you know. But let's not try to complicate things. The next point is sort of linked to the first one, which is giving yourself ample time to come up with a topic. Don't be in a hurry to decide on what to do. Like I said, I started thinking about my project for my first semester, which is almost 7 months ago. And the goal was not to come up with a topic. It was more like to understand what it is that I really wanted to do. once you take your time, you're eventually going to arrive at a topic. Ask yourselves, okay, what am I interested in? How is this going to contribute, or how does this relate to my journey in life so far, or my career choices, or where I'm headed, you know? All those kind of things. Take your time, don't be in a hurry. It's not about selecting a topic. If you start early, you're going to have enough time. Like I said, they're related. The fourth thing is going to be, think about the data sets that you're going to use for your project. This one is really important. For me, I tend to avoid projects that will require me to ask people questions, especially questionnaires. Like I don't know people like that, and I don't want to be following up with people saying, okay, please help me answer my questionnaire. That is just not my vibe. That is just not my way of life. I don't want to be stressed by anything like that. If that is something that you're comfortable with, don't take it the wrong way. For me, I know that that's something I don't want to do. So whenever I think of selecting a project topic, I always think of the data sets that I'm going to be using. It has to be something that I can easily access online, something that is already available. It's just to make things easier for me. Is this something you're going to have to collect? Is this something that's already available? You want to also think of that in terms of how much time you have, because if you have maybe 3 months, is that enough time for you to collect the data that you need if you're going to be doing data collection? Those are things you want to think about. If it's not something that's easily accessible to you, you want to start seeking it out. If it's something you need permission for, if it's something you have to pay for to access, you want to also start to do those things ahead of time so that you don't waste too much time during the project. My last advice is for people who want to challenge themselves with their projects, who probably want to get published, who want to stand out. If that is your goal, you want to identify the gap in the industry or with regards to the topic that you're going to be writing about. For me, I was very particular about exploring a gap in terms of what it is that I want to do for my project, and that's because I wanted to bring something new. To be honest, my goal, or what I would love, is to get my project published. It would be really, really nice. It's not the main thing for me, but it's also something that I put into consideration when it comes to selecting my topic, and I really hope that that goes well for me. If that's something you're also interested in, you want to ensure that your project is answering a question that has not been answered before, or is exploring an aspect of something that is yet to be explored enough. Finally, I'm going to be sharing my project topic with you guys. Now, this is not the final title, but it's a working title. If it's going to change, it's not going to change that much. My project topic is predicting adverse skincare reactions from product ingredients. I'm going to be using a machine learning approach to predict skincare reactions, which is going to be interesting. Trust me, I don't know how I'm going to go about this, but I've been doing some research, so it's going to go fine. But yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing for my project. Obviously, in the coming videos, you're going to see the steps that I take towards the project, and eventually going to see how everything turns out. If you're a computer science student or a student from any discipline, I hope this video is helpful to you guys, and thank you for watching if you watched to this point. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click on the like button, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Until next I have a new video. Bye.